Hello everyone, myself Dr. Sandeep Kumar Bansal is here to discuss the subject medicinal chemistry. The code is BP501T. In our previous discussion, we had discussed about the hypoglycemic agents and other antidiabetic agents including insulin. So, that was the first component of the unit 5th. So, in today's series, we are going to discuss about the second component of unit 5th, that is local anesthetics. So, let us start today's discussion. If we focus on the content of this sub part of unit 5th, it is equally divided into 4 parts. In my first lecture, I will cover this local anesthetics and the SAR of local anesthetics. In second part, I will cover, or in second lecture I will cover the benzoic acid derivatives, that includes cocaine, hexylcaine, mepryl-caine, cyclomethcaine and piprocaine. In my third lecture, I will include the amino benzoic acid derivatives, that will include benzocaine, butambane, procaine, butacaine, propoxycaine, tetracaine and venoxynate. In our fourth lecture, we are going to discuss about the lidocaine and lignocaine derivatives, and it will include lignocaine, mepivacaine, prilocaine, atidocaine and some miscellaneous agents like phenacaine, diprodone and the dibucaine. So, let us start our discussion. So, in this discussion, I will try to explain you about the what are the local anesthetics, how they act and classification and SAR and the uses. In classification part, I will try to explain it on the basis of the pharmacology and as well as on the basis of the chemistry. So, my dear students, our today's discussion is divided in again 4 parts, that is what are local anesthetics, how they act, how they are classified and what is the impact of the structural substituents, that is known as structure activity relationship and the uses of the local anesthetics. So, let us try to understand the first of all the term anesthesia. So, what is anesthesia? Now, if you look upon this world, it is made up of N, aesthesia and ia. It cause loss of the sensation. What does it mean? It causes the loss of sensation. Now, this loss of sensation can be partial or the complete. Now, remember the students that anesthesia is causing the loss of sensation, and this loss of sensation may be partial or it may be complete. With or without loss of consciousness. So, this is another feature, with or without loss of consciousness. And why it is required to induced for the medical purposes. Let me tell you one example. If we go for some dentist, he generally inject a medicine in our gums before proceeding for any surgical or tooth extraction type processes. So, that medicine is generally local anesthetic. So, local anesthetics are used for the medical purposes. So, let me explain once more what is anesthesia. Anesthesia is complete or the partial loss of sensation with or without the loss of consciousness that is induced for the medical purposes. Now, here are some additional properties or additional features that may be included in anesthesia or may not be included in anesthesia. They are analgesia, paralysis and the amnesia. Analgesia means relief from the pain or the prevention from the pain. Paralysis stands for muscle relaxation and the amnesia is the loss of memory. So, most of the time anesthesia is required for the performance of the surgery. Surgery may be minor or it may be major. So, I hope you must have understand that what does anesthesia mean. Now, these anesthetics or anesthesia are of two types. One is called general anesthesia and another is called local anesthesia. Now, what is the basic differences among these both of them? General anesthesia are the agents which bring about loss of all modalities of the sensation, particularly pain along with the reversible loss of consciousness. So, in case of general anesthesia, a patient or the person, those who are getting this anesthesia, he or she will lose the consciousness and this consciousness lost is reversible. And local anesthesia abolish the pain sensation in localized area. See, both the words are self explanatory. This is general, means whole body is involved, but local anesthesia is a particular part of our body is involved with affecting the degree of consciousness. So, generally local anesthesia does not cause the loss of sensation, loss of consciousness, loss of sensation is there, but it does not cause loss of consciousness. So, this is the major difference, that general anesthesia causes most of the time loss of consciousness, whereas the local anesthesia does not cause the loss of consciousness. Sometime it may cause depending on the potency of the drug. Now, here are the comparative features of the general anesthesia and the local anesthesia. These comparative features are categorized on the basis of site of action, area of body involved, consciousness, care of the vital function, physiological trespass, poor health patient, major surgery and minor surgery. So, now let me explain all these comparative features one by one. General anesthesia act at the central nervous system. On the other hand, local anesthesia act on the peripheral nervous system, that is PNS. Whole body is involved in case of the general anesthesia, whereas restricted area is involved in case of the local anesthesia. Patient lost his or her consciousness in general anesthesia. On the other hand, in case of local anesthesia, it remain unaltered. As far as vital functions are concerned, so care of vital functions is essential in case of general anesthesia, whereas it is not required in case of the local anesthesia. Physiological trespass is high in case of general anesthesia, but it is low in case of the local anesthesia. If we talk about the uses of general anesthesia, they are used at risk, means they are risky in case of the poor health patient, but they are local anesthesia are safe in case of the poor health patient. Now, if we talk about the uses, so major surgeries are preferred in case of the general anesthesia, but they are not preferred in case of the local anesthesia. However, minor surgeries are generally not performed in local anesthesia, but they are preferred in case of the local anesthesia. So, these are the some comparative features of the general anesthesia and the local anesthesia. Now, in nutshell, we can explain the local anesthetics. Now, we are in the situation to explain that what are the local anesthetics. So, these are the drugs which when applied directly to PNS, please focus on my words, when applied directly to the PNS, means these are the drugs when applied directly to the PNS block nerve conduction. Remember, this is a very important line, they block the nerve conduction. Now, what happens as a result of the blockage of this nerve conduction? It abolishes all the sensation in the pace part supplied by the nerve. So, my dear students, if we are blocking a particular nerve conduction, to the part that is being supplied by that nerve, it will abolish all the sensation in the part supplied by the nerve. Generally, these local anesthetics are applied to the somatic nerves. Where they are applied? They are applied to the somatic nerves and are capable of acting on axon, cell body, dendrite and the synapses. So, they are capable of acting on, let me repeat it again, they are capable of acting on the axons, cell body, dendrite and the synapses. Now, look upon the picture that is present in front of you. It is a very common example of the local anesthetic that is generally used, and you can see here, you can read it, it is lignocaine and adrenaline injection. So, by this example, we can easily understand that what are the local anesthetic. However, this lidocaine is used in along with in conjunction with the adrenaline, that point I will clarify little bit later, but now at this point we should know what are the local anesthetics. So, local anesthetic basically block the nerve conduction, though this point we have to understand, let me make it more and more prompt. So, this they block the nerve conduction, they block the nerve conduction. So, this is the key point that you have to remember always, that they what local anesthetic are doing, basically they are blocking the nerve conduction. Now, here are the some important ideal properties of the local anesthetic. So, what do we expect from any local anesthetic? So, they must be non-irritating to the tissue. They must be non-irritating to the tissue and should not cause any permanent damage. Any permanent damage at the site of application. Remember, students. So, they must be non-irritant to the tissue and does not cause any permanent damage. They must have low systemic toxicity. This is very again one more important point. So, there must be a proper balance between the hyperphilicity and the lipophilicity of the molecule, so that it may not penetrate the membranes and it should not cause the systemic toxicity. And it should be effective. Remember, it should be effective whether we are injecting or we are applying it locally to the skin or the mucous membrane. So, general sites of the action of a local anesthetics, they are generally injected or they are applied locally, either on the skin or on the mucous membrane. In what form or whatever place they are used, but they should be effective enough. And this have rapid onset of anesthesia and short duration of action. Means it should not happen that we are injecting any anesthesia or we are applying the anesthesia and it is acting little bit later. So, it should not happen. Ideally, it should be have short rapid onset of action, and duration of action is a question of debate, because when we see the classification, so it will be more and more clear to you. So, it the local anesthetic must have rapid onset and duration of action as per requirement. It may be short, it may be long, it may be intermediate, but it should not be so much long that the patient took so much time to recover his normal situation. Now, let me tell you some historical aspects of this local anesthetic. Ideally, there was a cocaine, that compound cocaine, and it was basically indigenous to the West Indies and the Java. And basically, it was the first anesthetic or first anesthesia to be discovered, and only naturally occurring local anesthetic. So, this anesthesia was discovered naturally from the natural plants. Why? Because in Europe in 1800, the natives isolated it from the coca beans, and they used, and one more psychoanalyst, there was a person Sigmund Freud, he was a psychoanalyst, and he used this cocaine on his patients and used on himself also, and became addicted through self experimentation. So, cocaine developed the addiction in this scientist Sigmund, psychoanalyst. So, that was the very initial stage when the cocaine was used as a local anesthesia. In 1880, the killer introduced cocaine to the field of ophthalmology and Hall introduced in the field of the dentistry. So, these are the two major fields where the local anesthetics are used. They are basically used in the field of ophthalmology and in the field of the dentistry. Here is a recap of the local anesthetics, how they are developed. So, basically broadly they are categorized in esters and the amides. So, first of all, esters, cocaine is ester. It was discovered in 1884, followed by procaine in 1905, tetracaine and chloroprocaine. Similarly, amides, they are dibocaine, lidocaine, mepivacaine, prilocaine, bupivacaine, atidocaine, artecaine, ropivacaine and levobupivacaine. So, this is the levoisomer of bupivacaine. So, it was discovered in 1999. So, this is the history at a glance. So, we are not bothered that much. Now, very important. So, till now I hope that you must have got an idea that what are the local anesthetic. Now, we have to see how they act. Local anesthetics, how they act? They act on the local anesthetic receptors, commonly they are called LA receptors. Now, where these receptors are situated? These receptors are situated in the sodium ion channel of the axonal membrane. These local anesthetic receptors are situated or located in the sodium ion channel of the axonal membrane. Here you can see the picture that receptor is in the resting state, activated state, inactivated state. So, before explaining this further, so let me explain some more part. Let me tell you the structure of this receptor. Receptor consists of two gates. First is called activation gate or the M gate. Another is called inactivation gate or the H gate. So, there are two gates, one is called M gate and another is called the H gate. M gate is the activation gate and H gate is the inactivation gate. The activation of H gate is mainly responsible for the blocking of the sodium channel. So, now let me explain you about the action of the local anesthetics, how they act. So, here you can see very easily that this initially this M gate is in the closed state, that means it is the in the resting state, and sodium ion is out of the axonal membrane. This is the axonal membrane. Now, as soon as this becomes in the activated state, so M gate opens, and through this M gate sodium ion can enter easily inside the exoplasm. Now, this is the situation, this is the receptor and this is H gate. So, this is the local anesthetic receptor. Local anesthetic penetrate through the axonal membrane and they bound to the local anesthetic receptor. As a result, this H gate is closed. Now, sodium ion cannot move inside sodium channel and it results in the inactivation state, and it simultaneously it abolishes the narrow conduction. So, now let me explain it once more. So, local anesthetics block nerve conduction by decreasing the entry of the sodium ion. As the concentration of local anesthetic is increased and maximum depolarization decreases, causing the loss of conduction. Initially, it causes slowing of the conduction and finally, it block the conduction. So, there are two stages. It first it slows down the conduction and later on it blocks the conduction, and finally, local depolarization fails to reach the threshold and conduction blocks. So, here you can see there are the two stages, slowing of the conduction and second one is the blocking of the conduction. So, here this picture is again added here to make it more clear. So, I hope that you must have understand how local anesthetic act. Now, this is the time to tell you about the classification. Here is the classification of the local anesthetic on the basis of the pharmacology. Here you can see easily that they are may be injectable anesthetics, they may be surface anesthetic. Injectable anesthetics are of low potency, short duration, intermediate potency and duration, high potency, long duration, soluble and the insoluble. So, there are number of examples representing each class. Now, let us have an idea about the chemical classification. Local anesthetics are classified in two types, one is amide type and another is the ester type. Amide type means it is based on the CONH group and ester type is COOR. So, amide types are of again two categories, longer acting and the intermediate acting. Bupivacaine, lipobupivacaine and etidocaine are the example of the longer acting, and the lidocaine and mepivacaine are the example of the intermediate acting. Ester types are again categorized in three categories, longer acting, intermediate acting and the short acting. Longer acting is represented by the tetracaine and intermediate acting is represented by the cocaine and short acting is represented by the procaine, chloroprocaine. Now, this is the chemical structure. This is the chemical structure representing all local anesthetics you can see here is lipophilic portion, intermediate chain, amine, hydrophilic portion, amino esters, amino amides. So, hydrophilic portion is responsible for the salt formation, lipophilic portion is responsible for the penetration of local anesthetic inside the axonal membrane, You can see the structure, this is amino ester COO and this is the CONH. So, this is the amino amide, this is the amino esters. So, clinically useful local anesthetics are the weak bases with the aminophilic property, hydrophilic is one side and lipophilic aromatic residue on the another side. Both these groups are joined by the alkyl chain through you see this is the bridge, it will be carbon, oxygen, nitrogen or sulfur, hydrophilicity. Here it is represented by secondary or tertiary amine, cyclic or the non-cyclic, carboxylic or heterocyclic. This is the purpose for the purpose of the diffusion across the membrane, this is for the purpose of water solubility and the salt formation. So, ester linked local anesthetics are cocaine, procaine, tetracaine, benzocaine. On the other hand, amide linked local anesthetics are the lidocaine, dubucaine and the prilocaine. So, if you compare ester versus amide, so esters and amide differ in metabolism, stability and the adverse effect. Esters are metabolized in plasma, on the other hand amides are metabolized in the liver. Esters are unstable in solution, however, amides are very stable in solution. Ester most likely causes allergic reactions, on the other hand lipophilicity versus hydrophilicity, presence of electron withdrawing group in ortho and para position decreases lipophilicity, but increases the activity. This is point to remember, and this lipophilicity helps local anesthetic to penetrate to the lipid bilayer to reach the binding site or inside the cell. Hydrophilicity is governed by the secondary or tertiary amine. When local anesthetic enter in the cell, they will accept the protonate form positively charged quaternary form and which is required to bind the voltage gated ion channel. So, there is the equal importance of both the part, one is hydrophilic, another is the lipophilic. So, there are the summary of uses of local anesthetics. So, they are used in case of eyes, nose, mouth, throat, pharynx, larynx, trachea, esophagus, stomach, skin, urethra and the rectum. So, there are the number of examples and they are available in the forms of drops, ointments, drops, lozenges, sprays, jelly, suspension, cream under occlusion, jelly, ointment and the suppository. So, and particularly they are used for the cataract, ocular surgery, painful lesions, polyps, sore throat and painful ulcers, endoscopy to perform to get rid of heartburn, skin surgery, catheterization and the fissure, painful piles and the surgery. So, I hope you must have understand about the what are the local anesthetics and how they act and where they are used. So, in our next lecture we will discuss about the benzoic acid derivatives. So, students, thank you very much.